As let's take a look behind the numbers. Jamal James is 3 years older than Abel Ramos, and the height and the reach advantage is in his favor. Ranked number 4 in the world in the welterweight division. Jamal James returning home for the first time in over 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Armory here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Premier Boxing Champions now features the main event. Live on FS1, 10 rounds in the welterweight division. The 3 judges ringside are Mike Fitzgerald, John Mariano, and Patrick Morley. And the referee in charge when the bell sounds is Mark Nelson. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He comes in wearing the red with the white. His professional record, 18 wins, 13 of those coming by way of knockout against 2 losses and 2 draws. Joining us from Casa Grande, Arizona, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Abel Ramos. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the blue corner. He comes in wearing the white with the purple and the gold. As a professional, his record an excellent one. 22 wins, 10 of those coming by way of knockout against 1 blemish. Fighting and representing Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ranked number 4 in the welterweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Jamal James. Our main event, Jamal James, before the thousands in attendance here at the Armory that have come to watch him in his homecoming matchup. As he looks to rise up the ranks of the welterweight division, feels that a world title shot is within his grasp, but first he must get past Abel Ramos. 3-4 is Robert Guerrero, Jordan Hardy ringside here. A partisan crowd here to see their native son, Jamal James. James starting off strong, looking to back up Abel Ramos, and a left hook to the body. That was that left hook that brought an end of the night to Diego Chavez back in December.
Yeah, you know, he's setting it up off a great jab too. You know, he's coming out throwing 3-4 jabs at a time, you know, keeping that distance, you know, staying long and using his height and reach.
And prior to the fight with James, Diego Chavez had only been stopped by Keith Thurman back in 2013, so Jamal James becoming only the 2nd guy to halt Diego Chavez.
Yeah, you know, and that's the unified champ you're talking about, Keith Thurman, so, you know, everybody that's been in with him came up short.
Doubling up on the jab is Jamal James. James's only blemish came against Yordenis Ugas, a fight that he took just over a month notice. He said he had to take the opportunity, but since that time period has won 2 straight victories, a win over Jojo Dan, and the previously mentioned the victory over Diego Chavez. And both times Jamal James has fought here on FS1, so no stranger are we to the man known as Shango.
Yeah, he turned out a great crowd today. They were live. I didn't even hear the bell ring. That's how loud they were.
It is absolutely, for that introduction, it was electric. And a big right hand for Jamal James backing up Abel Ramos.
Yeah, he's doing a great job using that reach and that height, especially behind his jab. You know, it's nice and crisp.
Jamal James said it feels real good to be returning home. He said this building has such rich history and it means so much. He's honored to be in the main event and headlining here in Minnesota. Right hand again for Jamal James. It's very fluid-like. You see the jab followed by that right hand that is placed right behind it.
Yeah, it's placed very well, nice and smooth.
Jamal James gave away 100 tickets to high schools around the area so they can come and watch him perform, and they back up Abel Ramos again. Ramos with his back on the ropes. Body work there by Jamal James. A right uppercut to the midsection by James as he smacks Abel Ramos with the right hand. Ramos, his face reddening from those right hands.
Yeah, he's fighting Jamal James is fighting a smart fight, you know, working behind that jab. Even though he lands some big shots, you know, he stays composed and he keeps working, keeps doing what he's doing. He's not getting overexcited and trying to, you know, throw a barrage of punches. You know, he's making sure every punch is calculated and lands right on the button.
Well, he's very judicious when it comes to his punch, and as Jamal James will come back back with round 2, PBC on FS1. Welcome back to PBC on FS1. As there you see Jamal James being guided by Sankara Frazier. And for James, he looked very strong in round 1, Robert.
Yeah, he went out there and established his jab. You know, got his presence in there. You know, let him know, hey, this is my ring, and I'm coming to win this fight.
And Jamal James wearing the white with the purple and the gold, a tribute to the Minnesota Vikings, who play just down the street here in Minneapolis. Also, he came out to Prince, and it's so funny and fitting because, as we mentioned earlier in the telecast, 1999, the music video was actually filmed inside this building. It has since been renovated, obviously, but still the parallels and the Minneapolis love certainly in abundance here tonight.
Yeah.
Right now, Jamal James is looking, and a big right hand that backed up Ramos. Jamal James looks very sharp, and a left hook! Oh my goodness, that shook up James! I don't know if he was off balance, and down he goes! But that was a push. That was a push, but it looked like Jamal James got buzzed. And now the tension grows ever more here at the Armory in Minneapolis. Ramos felt he could find a way to hurt Jamal James.
Yeah, that lit a fire under Ramos, you know, landing that shot, and Jamal James going down, whether it wasn't called a knockdown or if it was or it wasn't, but it still fired him up.
Jamal James said he was been focused on going and finishing his opponents, but in a smart, calculated way. That could have been a case, Robert, where he stayed in the pocket too long and Ramos made him pay.
Yeah, it was a nice counter shot that Ramos landed on him. You know, set him up to, you know, start putting that pressure, start getting on the inside. You know, Ramos needs to keep putting that pressure, cutting the ring, get on the inside, and, you know, bang away.
And Chance Shango here at the Armory, looking to will their hometown favorite to victory. But James seems to have settled in.
Be careful, be careful.
Once he got shaken up a little bit, Robert, he seems to have settled in, and his legs seem to be underneath him once again.
Yeah, he's back on his game, trying to establish his jab again and get that distance. You know, with Ramos putting that pressure, you know, you could see a little redness under the left eye of Ramos. I mean, not Ramos, James.
Jamal James, yes. Some hooks now as Ramos looking to press. Ramos, his only losses coming to Regis Prograis and Ivan Baranchik. In the fight with Baranchik, he had him down, but Baranchik was able to get the victory. Another right hand smacking off the side of the skull of Ramos.
That was a beautiful, beautiful counter right hand right over the top.
Stop at the bell.
And round 2 is in the books. We'll come back with more PBC on FS1. Back here in Minneapolis, there you see US Bank Stadium, home to the Vikings. Who can forget earlier in the year, in the second round of the playoffs, Case Keenum, the 60-yard pass to Stephon Diggs as the Vikings propelled themselves to the NFC Championship game, leaving the Saints stunned. My goodness, and that is something that will be remembered. Also, Jamal James is hoping that the fans will remember the night that they came to watch him fight, and that it was a joyous occasion, but he does have his hands full. Also, Jamal James very deep, and we're going to go to our own Jordan Hardy, who has more on Shango.
Thanks, Ray. Jamal James isn't just talented in the boxing ring, but also in the recording studio. This guy has music in his blood. His grandfather was in a calypso reggae band. His father owns a music production company, and his brothers produce music. Jamal likes to write rap lyrics, and I actually listened to one of his songs, and it was pretty good. He said music is that balance for him.
Quick, don't punch.
Thank you very much, Jordan. Yes, absolutely. And right, speaking of balance, Jamal James has very good balance. He's getting a lot of leverage, and he was pressing and had Abel Ramos against the ropes.
Yeah, he's trying to start to back him up, and he's trying to back him up with that jab. You know, Ramos is doing a great job coming forward, so now he's trying to see what he can do going backwards.
Ramos, when we explained and were finding out what it meant for him to be fighting in the backyard of Jamal James, he told us, I'm used to fighting guys in their backyards. This is nothing different for me, and I know I have to be at my best to beat James.
Yeah, having that experience being in people's backyards, it's a plus. Being fighting out of your comfort zone, you're able to get that focus, especially with the hometown crowd screaming and, Jamal James getting pumped up by it and fighting to the crowd, You got to be able to stay composed and be able to do your job still.
And chants of Shango echoing here at a jam-packed Armory in the heart of the Twin Cities. And James settling in very nicely. It was that left hook that had him hurt in the second, but he has not shied away from the game plan, and that is to use his jab followed by the right hand. And there have been moments, Robert, where he has been the one to back up Abel Ramos. Yeah,
and it all comes off of that nice solid jab that he throws. When he uses that jab, he's very, very effective. So, that's when Ramos has a lot of trouble with him. But as soon as he stops using it and Ramos uses his jab, Ramos gets in and lands big shots.
Ramos is having a hard time, though, from a distance standpoint in the height that Jamal James. Jamal James is so quick, and it's just like little things. He's not overly fast, but it is quickness that Jamal James possesses, and his range is also giving Ramos some issues.
Yeah, he throws short, tight punches, right off his chest. And, the shorter the shot,
be careful.
You don't telegraph.
Keep your head up, Jamal.
It just comes right down the pipe.
Abel Ramos, 26 years of age, from Casa Grande, Arizona, trained by his father and his brother, Jesus and Efrain Ramos. As we near the end of round 3 here in Minneapolis. Abel Ramos, though, has to put together more punches. He did well with that left hook in the second, but other than that, it has been Jamal James who has been in control, Robert.
Yeah, he's been in control with that jab. Working a great.
Time in. Here we go.
Working behind a great jab and setting everything up and having that right distance to land his shots and not smothering anything. I think Ramos, what he needs to do is he needs to start working his jab a little more, getting on the inside, but use that fast jab and that fast pressure to get on the inside and land some shots because, once he gets under Jamal James' jab, then he's effective.
Absolutely. And James keeping himself, he doesn't want his back against the ropes, whereas Ramos wants to cut the distance off. When it comes to Jamal James, he has his sights set on fighting the likes of Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, and also, depending on what happens next week with Jesse Vargas, Adrian Broner, possibly Vargas as well. So there is certainly a litany of top names in the welterweight division, and Jamal James wants to be involved in that mix.
Yeah, the division's really stacked, and that's where you want to be. The big money's there. All the fights are there. All the championship belts are incredible in that division. And man, this is what's going to catapult him into that.
Jamal James nearing his 8th year as a pro, turned pro in May of 2010. And more chance of Shango.
He's doing a great job keeping his composure also. Once Ramos starts putting that pressure on him, he still stays very composed, and he gets back into that jab and gets his distance.
And the right hand to the body by Jamal James. The gym is no more than 10 minutes away where they train on a consistent basis. Ramos using his jab, but still when he uses the jab, Robert, he still has not been able to find a way to unload and connect with his power punches.
Yeah, because he throws the same jab over and over, and Jamal James is able to time it, especially with that straight right hand, just like that.
A blistering right hand by Jamal James. James, when his assessment of Abel Ramos, he goes, Ramos is coming to fight. I can't judge a guy based on the record. Look, I know he's coming up in weight, and I need to get past guys like this in order to achieve my lifelong goal, and that is to become a world champion.
Yes, that's the one thing. You got to be able to have those tests in front of you so you can overcome things and become a better fighter and get over that hump.
Time.
That is the end of round 4. And Abel Ramos, no stranger to upper echelon competition. We talked about his losses to Brogre and Baranchik, but he also had a draw against Maurice Hooker, a fight that he felt he was robbed in, and also a draw against Levan Gavami Chamba. And incidentally, in that fight against Gavami Chamba, he broke his hand in the second round, but still went the distance and got the draw.
Yeah, so he's been in some battles, and he knows that he can overcome whatever happens in that ring. So you never break a guy's confidence like that. They just keep coming and coming.
But for Jamal James, Robert, it has been the basic fundamentals which have helped to what we think is a lead here in the early part of this fight as we near the midway point of this matchup. It's been the jab followed by that right hand and his ability to keep his distance.
Yeah, you're right. And that's what he's doing, Ray. He's working that jab, keeping that distance, staying composed, and he's circling them, hitting the right angles to land his shots.
And obviously the goal is, Robert, when you are nearing this, he's number 4 in the welterweight division, ranked number 4, but do you start to think in your mind at this stage of your career, I can't just win, I have to look impressive in the process where I have to get these bigger financial opportunities against the world's best.
Yeah, Ray, that's what you want to do. And also, too, you want to be an exciting fighter because you want to have those big fights where, you got a crowd. I mean, you look at the crowd that turned out for him. That's what resonates into bigger fights and bigger fights. Being an exciting fighter and also, too, not just being an exciting fighter, but being a great technical fighter who can get in there and battle with the best.
When Jamal James is, even though he lands a echoing right hand, and you're starting to see some swelling from Abel Ramos, a left hook, and now James going for the attack and ripping the body of Abel Ramos. Jamal James putting the pedal to the metal in spurts, but a straight right hand that connected for Ramos.
Yeah. Jamal James is starting to get really comfortable in that ring, especially in the pocket, working behind that jab, keeping his distance, landing big shots. He's starting to work that jab, and also he was making Ramos go back. And anytime Ramos steps back, it sets him up for that right hand.
When James has been wise to attack the body of Ramos, it has not just been the jab followed by the right hand. We have seen there have been spurts where James rips the body of Ramos.
Yes, that right there starts breaking the fighter down. As the rounds go on, you start to slow down. Especially he starts applying that pressure. Your strength starts to deplete.
Ramos having issues with Jamal James, who is in control in front of his most ardent supporters here in Minneapolis. That concludes round number 5 as we're halfway home. As there you see Abel Ramos, some swelling as we witnessed as from those right hands, compliments of Jamal James. There you see Abel Ramos, who has a lot of work to do if he wants to get back in this matchup.
Yeah, he needs to start applying that pressure. Getting in there, exchanging a lot more, and letting him go.
And here is your unofficial scorecard, Robert.
Yeah, I have James up 49-46. And I gave 1 round to Ramos. And
second, that was compliments of that left hand, the left hook that connected.
Where he started putting that pressure, getting on the inside. But James got right back to his game and, started working that jab and, keeping his distance and controlling the fight.
Robert, I'm bringing up a point that you mentioned in the previous round, a straight right hand that found its mark. When you talk about not only just winning and doing it well, but to be an exciting fighter, Jamal James, the one thing he stressed to us is, I'm working on being a finisher. I kind of work it on not being so cautious, to be able to know when I have my opponent hurt and then attack. We saw that in the 5th round when he had Ramos hurt and then immediately went in, was attacking the body, and then he got out of danger, and a couple of right hands strategically placed and have been finding their mark for James.
Yeah, you can see spurts of it happen. He hits Ramos with a good right hand, and he'll get on him and throw 5 or 6 hard, punches, a nice solid flurry. And you know, the one thing is Ramos is a tough fighter. He knows how to weather the storm. He knows how to roll with the punches. And also he comes right back with body shots. So, you know, but James is also he's also playing a smart, he's working a smart fight, you know, by knowing that, okay, he's not really hurt, so I got to, you know, get back on my jab and keep breaking him down.
James really sitting down on that right hand. And also he's awkward. He does have very good fundamentals, does Jamal James, but in terms of dealing with the guy who is as awkward and as elusive as Jamal James, Robert.
Yeah,
he has that shoulder out there in front and, you know, kind of a weird stance.
Yeah, he has that shoulder out there in front. And also, too, he has a great jab right behind that shoulder being in front, so it makes even his jab longer. So, you know, it's hard to deal with a great jab that's coming from a long distance.
Jamal James finding more success and really starting to sit down on his punches even more so. But at the same time, he goes back to pumping that jab and always having it in the face of Abel Ramos.
Yes, that's what a smart fighter does. He doesn't abandon his jab. As soon as you abandon your jab, that's where everything starts going wrong. You know, it's been working very well for him. Just keep using it.
But the prevailing opinion amongst the camp of Jamal James is this victory will send him and skyrocket him to those bigger name fights, and he has done so well here. I think Jamal James is difficult for anybody at the top of the welterweight division.
10 seconds.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Ray. You know, this is the type of fight that you know, shows everybody, hey, he's a threat out there.
That is the end of the 6th. Well, James and Santoro Frazier.
Seconds out of here.
You know, James looks very amped up. And it has been a multitude, a plethora of right hands which have been having an effect upon Abel Ramos.
Yeah, that straight right hand behind that jab is really devastating.
Ray Flores, Robert Guerrero, Jordan Hardy. Ringside here in Minneapolis, as Jamal James hasn't fought here in Minneapolis in over 4 years. And said it is a welcome to be back here in front of the hometown locals that have supported him from day number 1, and this is a very momentous occasion for him. But Ramos is looking to spoil that, and he's got to really go and find a way to swing the fight in his favor.
Yeah, he's starting to go to work, you know, getting on the inside, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to get on the inside and stay on the inside and throw punches and bunches. He needs to let his hands go, and, you know, through the remainder of the fight.
Straight right hand that backed up Abel Ramos, followed by a right uppercut from the 29-year-old here in Minneapolis.
Yeah, that stick is his biggest weapon right now. Is, you know, using that jab, keeping him on the outside.
2 left hooks to the body, followed by straight right hands, and the fans come to their feet here at the Armory. James aggressive, ripping shots to the body. He is tattooing the right side of Abel Ramos.
Come on. Be careful.
That is that aggression that Jamal James spoke to us about in the fighter meetings. When I have someone hurt, I'm going to go after them and try to finish them.
Yeah, he's been practicing it. The thing is Ramos is a tough customer. You know, he's one of those guys that's hard to get out of there.
Another left hook to the body for Jamal James. When Abel Ramos wakes up tomorrow morning, he's certainly going to feel the effects of those left hooks.
Yeah, you can see it on his face already. I mean, he's getting swelled up pretty good.
Ramos seems to be a step slow as well, Robert.
Yeah. Also, too, the elusiveness of James, you know, is making it tough for him. You know, and his timing also, especially working behind the jab. This is the type of fight Ramos needed to fight right out the gate.
Well, he needed to make it difficult upon Jamal James, and James has worked tirelessly to have success, but Ramos has been unable to find sustained success in this matchup. And a right hand again that bounces off the left side of Abel Ramos.
This round, Ramos has been doing some good body work also.
That is the end of the 7th.
He's landed some big body shots out this round.
But right now, Abel Ramos needs a couple of knockdowns. I have him behind big time.
So do I.
So he needs a knockdown or two in order to swing this fight more towards his favor. I think see your unofficial scorecard.
Yeah, 69-64 James. I think he's been doing a great job. You know, behind that jab, working off of it, just like he's back on that jab. You know, last round he fell away from it a little bit. Ramos gained some ground. You know, banged him to the body, which is, you know, gave him some more confidence in that. Gave him a lot of confidence, you know, to come in, thinking that James is, you know, fatiguing. So, you know, he's looking forward to probably getting in there and throwing a lot more shots to the body and back to the head.
Robert. And now let's send it to the third member of our broadcast team, Jordan Hardy, who has more from the corner.
Ray, thank you. I was over in Ramos's corner, and I spoke to his cut man. He said his eye is manageable. He can see out of it just fine. They're not even worried or concerned about it. But they think that Jamal James is hurt. They want him to jump on him and go to the body and use that right uppercut. We'll see if he'll implement it. Ray, what do you think about that advice?
Well, I mean, I think that they are being a little too complacent. I think that they need to really be telling him you're behind instead of saying, you know, jump on him. I think that should be some of the advice that is coming from the corner.
Yeah, I mean, that's good advice. What they told him is, you know, Jamal James is hurt. So, you know, get him motivated to get in there. You know, he's hurt, so get on him. You know, start banging him away. But also, too, they also got to tell him, like you said, Ray, hey, you need a knockout to win this fight. You better step your game up and go out there and try to get it.
Completely concur with you,
Keep your head up, Jamal.
And Abel Ramos, he is being more aggressive, but Jamal James is sitting in the pocket and throwing big shots in terms of right hands towards Abel Ramos.
Yeah, I think Jamal James, that fatigue is setting in. I mean, he's throwing a lot of punches throughout this fight, you know, working the jab, a lot of power shots also. And then he had those spurts where he was trying to finish Ramos, but Ramos was able to weather the storm.
And some body work there by Ramos, and that may have hurt Jamal James. Jamal James went backwards, and you saw his body language change for a brief moment.
Yeah,
and Ramos tattooing the body.
It looks like he's protecting that body, you know, forking him over with that left hook to the body.
Ramos is really sitting down on his punches here in the 8th. And Jamal James with the big right hand that crushed Abel Ramos, but Ramos taking it and comes back. Robert and I are sitting here ringside, and you hear the thud when Jamal James throws that right hand and lands it.
Yeah, he throws it like a fastball. And when it lands, it hits hard.
Abel Ramos and Jamal James, round number 8, drawing to a close here in Minneapolis. Now, Robert, we've been throwing around this term quite frequently tonight, but it's so apropos. It is a war of wills between the two. Jamal James is ahead, but Ramos is starting to come on strong.
Yeah, like we seen in the last fight.
With Edner Cherry and Dennis Galarza.
Yeah, Cherry started coming on, and that's what's happening in this fight. You know, it's almost kind of the same type of styles matchup where you know, working off the jab, and then, you know, late in the fight they start coming back.
Don't forget to partake in the conversation on social media. Use the hashtag PBC on FS1 and follow us at Premier Boxing. Jamal James moving around, using good head movement, but being quite judicious in regards to his movement, isn't wasting much motion.
Yeah, he's doing a great job also. You know, he keeps punching, he keeps moving. Jamal James, you know, he's also throwing those body shots in there too. But Ramos, you know, he's relentless with that pressure, and he keeps coming because he knows, you know, potentially he can knock him out, you know, with a body shot.
Ramos, despite the fact that he has swelling underneath his left eye, now there is a cut. And there is a cut. I wonder where that is. And there is a cut.
Accidental headbutt.
An accidental headbutt. Poor Mark
Accidental
Nelson.
You good? Time in.
Mark Nelson has deemed it an accidental headbutt. So,
cuts on James,
if James, well, this doesn't seem to be a bad spot to impair the vision of Jamal James. But the corner will certainly have their work cut out for them to stop the bleeding. But right now, 100 seconds left in the ninth, Ramos continues to advance forward.
Where is that cut? Is it on the ear?
Keep the punches up.
It might be around the ear, possibly by the hairline. It seems to be by the ear.
Who knows? It could be a busted eardrum. You know, the busted eardrum kind of plays with the equilibrium too. So
Jamal James continues to sit down in his punches and throw. Left hook to the body. Ramos counters with 2 left hooks of his own. Really going downstairs and having an emphasis on ripping to the body is Abel Ramos. And Jamal James backs up.
yeah, he's digging away. He knows he's hurting him to the body. He's fatigued, so he knows with those body shots he can end up stopping him.
This is why it is wonderful to witness a fight play out. In the early going, Jamal James was comfortably ahead and for the most part has been successful. But Abel Ramos is coming on and is really pushing Jamal James here tonight.
Yep, that's why in boxing, it ain't over till that final bell rings.
And don't judge a fight until it happens, because at least to the prognosticators, Jamal James was a heavy favorite. Not to say that he won't get the W, but Abel Ramos has certainly given a very good account of himself.
Oh yeah, he made it a war, you know, the second half of the fight.
The left hook right on the chin by Ramos, but answering back is Jamal James with that laser straight right hand.
Obey the bell.
Nearing the end of round 9. Round 10 with Jamal James and Abel Ramos. Will Jamal James, the hometown favorite, get the victory and send home his fans with a smile on their face as a left hook to start off for Abel Ramos? And I'm talking with Jordan Hardy just moments ago. She told me that she went in the corner of Jamal James and said that the cut is on the hairline. So that is where it is. Wonderful reporting from Jordan Hardy.
Yeah, Ramos was trying to dig it out. But James also too, he's not letting up. You know, he's still landing big shots, working that jab. But Ramos got to go for broke this round.
He has the sense that he is behind in the scorecards. And look at that mouse underneath the left eye of Abel Ramos, and that you can attribute to those straight right hands from Jamal James.
Stop, don't punch.
Yeah, also too tattooing him with that jab all night long. You know, really beat him up pretty good.
But Jamal James has certainly fought a very difficult competitor in Abel Ramos. Ramos could have easily folded up mentally after those first 4 rounds, but that has been the complete opposite.
Yeah, Ramos is a tough guy. You know, he has that will to win. I mean, you can see it in this round. He's coming out with everything he got and trying to get in there and bang the body and trying to finish James. But James doesn't let up either, and this is what makes it, you know, a great fighter and a guy that's a great contender ready to fight for that title.
And Robert, that is why this place is packed here at the Armory. There are thousands that are come out to support Jamal James, and you know that they have certainly gotten their money's worth here tonight.
Yeah, you look at everybody that's not on a floor seat, they're all standing around this arena throughout the whole fight. So, you know, they're really excited to support him, and, you know, he's doing a great job on, you know, making them proud.
Under a minute left, but Abel Ramos continues to press the action, but back comes Jamal James. James, his lifelong goal is to become a world champion. If he is successful tonight, it'll be 3 straight victories. And left hook to the body by James as he has. Ramos again throws. Big left hook upstairs by the Minneapolis native. Even in the 10th, with what you would appear to think a comfortable lead, Jamal James still is going for the finish.
Yeah, well, he did say he was practicing on finishing, and, you know, he's finishing this round strong.
Practice what you preach, and Jamal James has done exactly what he told us, with the exception of getting the finish, which has not been because of a lack of effort. Jamal James having his way with Abel Ramos. Ramos showing some resiliency, but that is the end of a very entertaining matchup as the fans here in Minneapolis come to their feet. Both fighters embrace, showing a sign of sportsmanship. And we will come back and get the decision as Jamal James and Abel Ramos go to the scorecards. Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at ringside, Mike Fitzgerald, scores the contest 95-95, a draw. Overruled by judges John Mariano and Patrick Morley, who scored the contest 96-94 for your winner by majority decision, Jamal James. So Jamal James gets the majority decision. The judges had it a lot closer than what we thought, Robert, but nonetheless, the right guy won, and that's a very big win for Jamal James, who elevates his record to 23-1.